The noise you don't hear, how disconnection fuels inner power. There's a kind of silence that isn't empty. It's full. It's full of the voice you've ignored for too long, the whisper of clarity beneath the clutter. In a world that rewards reaction, stillness has become rebellion. We live in a time where every second demands a response. Messages, pings, reels, dopamine hits. The modern mind has become a crowded marketplace. Attention sold, peace auctioned. But here's the truth. Focus isn't something you find, it's something you reclaim. You do it by consciously stepping back from the noise. Tony Robbins often says, your life changes the moment you make a new, committed decision. And the first decision toward focus is to disconnect. Not from life, but from distraction. Imagine this. A Japanese swordsman once told his disciple, "The battle is won before the blade is drawn." He meant that clarity and composure decide victory, not the strike itself. In the same way, your performance at work, in relationships, in creativity, is shaped not by what you do in chaos, but by what you practice in stillness. Joe Dispenza explains this neurologically. When your brain constantly fires survival patterns, checking, scrolling, reacting, it can't build the neural coherence needed for vision or decision-making. When you disconnect, you're not escaping. You're retraining your brain to function at higher frequency states. You're telling your nervous system, you're safe, you can think clearly again. An old African story tells of a drummer who was praised for his rhythm. When asked his secret, he said, "I don't play beats. I play the spaces between them." That's what disconnection does. It restores rhythm. It turns chaos into cadence. Stop for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you sat in silence without reaching for your phone? The mind that constantly consumes can't create. If you want to lead, love, and live with depth, you must reclaim those spaces between the beats. Mel Robbins teaches the power of the 5-second rule, to interrupt autopilot and return to intention. You can apply it to digital life too. When you feel that urge to scroll, count backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe. You're not missing out on the world. You're reconnecting with it more authentically. Remember, silence isn't absence. It's presence magnified. Every great warrior, artist, and thinker has mastered the art of withdrawing, to see clearly, to act decisively. Disconnection isn't about isolation, it's about preparation. This is where real focus is born, in the unseen moments when no one is watching, no one is asking, and no one is rewarding you. It's in those quiet minutes that your future is negotiated. So, disconnect, not to run away, but to return stronger. The next time your day feels like noise, step back. Don't fill the silence, listen to it. That's your compass, that's your focus. And that's where you begin to reclaim your power. Stillness. Before the strike, the discipline of mental reset. The difference between chaos and mastery is one breath. That pause before reaction, that heartbeat before speech, defines your power. In the samurai tradition, warriors were trained to meditate before battle, not to find peace, but to sharpen presence. They called it zanshin, a state of relaxed awareness, where you're alert but calm, ready but grounded. That's what today's leaders, creators, and parents are missing. The ability to act from stillness, not stress. Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. But what if your focus is constantly hijacked? Emails, alerts, news cycles, all fragments of borrowed urgency. You think you're managing your time, but in truth, your time is managing you. Mel Robbins teaches micro-actions, small, intentional decisions that rewire identity. Let's use that. Every time you feel overwhelmed, take one breath. Name it your reset breath. You're telling your body, we choose to respond, not react. Over time, this rewires your emotional circuitry, moving you from reactivity to leadership. Joe Dispenza describes it beautifully. Your body is addicted to familiar emotions. Stress, anxiety, chaos, because they feel normal. To reclaim focus, you must break the addiction to mental noise. That's not philosophy, it's neuroscience. When you practice mindfulness, or even a single minute of intentional breathing, you disrupt those emotional feedback loops. You're literally changing your brain chemistry toward balance. In ancient China, there's a Taoist story of a master archer who never missed his mark. When asked what his secret, he said, "The target is not out there. It is in here." He tapped his chest. That's focus, the alignment between intention and attention. Let's bring this into today. You open your laptop, a dozen tabs, 2 messages, 1 notification. You're thinking of 10 things while doing none. That scattered state fragments performance. Mindful disconnection begins by doing one thing at a time, with full presence. When you eat, just eat. When you work, just work. When you rest, just rest. Simple but radical. Ancient Indian wisdom calls this ekagrata, the one-pointedness of mind. It's not about how long you can focus. It's about how fully you can be with what you're doing. That's how clarity is built. And here's the paradox. When you disconnect, you don't lose time, you multiply it, because you stop wasting it in fragmented attention. So here's your action. At least once a day, disconnect intentionally. Turn off every device for 15 minutes. Breathe. Notice your thoughts without judging them. That's your training ground for greatness, not in noise, but in neutrality. As one African proverb says, "The lion does not turn when the small dog barks." That's composure. That's leadership. In Stillness Before the Strike, you rediscover your center. Returning stronger, building a focused mind in a distracted world. Disconnection is only the first step. Reclaiming focus means building a mind that stays steady even when surrounded by noise. Tony Robbins talks about state management, the ability to choose your mental and emotional state regardless of circumstance. That's the next level of mastery, to stay calm inside the storm. A Japanese Zen saying goes, "The still pond reflects the moon perfectly." Your mind is that pond. When disturbed by constant ripples of anxiety, comparison, or overthinking, your reflection distorts. When calm, you see things as they are. That's wisdom, not knowledge, but perception unclouded. Joe Dispenza describes it in scientific terms. Focus rewires the prefrontal cortex, your seat of willpower and vision. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you're strengthening the muscle of consciousness. Over weeks, you start noticing you react less, you respond better, you create faster. That's neuroplasticity in action. An old Indian tale tells of a farmer searching for his lost key. He looks outside under the lamppost. A neighbor asks, "Where did you lose it?" He says, "Inside my house." The neighbor asks, "Then why are you searching here?" "Because the light is better." That's how most people live, looking for peace in the wrong places. Focus isn't found outside in brighter screens. It's rediscovered inside. Mel Robbins calls it the high five habit. Small, symbolic gestures that anchor new beliefs. Try this. Every morning, before you pick up your phone, place your hand on your heart and say, "I choose where my attention goes today." That declaration builds internal authorship. It's a small act of defiance against digital gravity. In African tradition, there's a proverb, "When there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm." That's focus mastery. When you no longer react to external noise, you become immovable inside. Your calm becomes your competitive edge. So, how do you live it? Daily disconnection. Ritual, 15 minutes of silence. No devices, no input, just breathing. Single focus hour, 1 deep work task without interruption. Digital sunset. No screens, 30 minutes before bed. Weekly reflection. Write down what drained your attention and what restored it. These aren't restrictions, they're reclaims. Every pause you take is a declaration of sovereignty over your own mind. When you disconnect mindfully, you don't just regain focus, you regain yourself. You stop chasing every flicker of attention and start mastering energy. You begin to see that clarity is power, and peace is not passive, it's productive. So, take that next quiet breath. The world can wait for a moment. Your clarity cannot. Reclaim your focus, one mindful disconnection at a time. Because when you return, you won't just be refreshed, you'll be reborn in attention.